before I built this generator, I was having to write out 10 questions by hand on a whiteboard. And before long, this got tedious. My background, before I was teaching, I was a web developer, and I specialized in a program called Flash, which is what we're looking at here. So you can see there's 10 random questions. Now, if I just click again, it's going to generate another 10 questions again, again, etc. If you want answers, you just click on a little A. And for example, yeah, we can do it again. And let me show you a few of the features. So if I just cover up the screen, you know, you can use this with your students. Go, oh, pick a prime number or the odd numbers or even numbers. So I'm going to pick number 2. Find the nth term, press the answer, and it's going to tell me it's minus 5n plus 47. And it's just going to keep generating sequences, as you can see. The button to the left of it, this one, for example, let's say we were doing this sequence, 15, 5, minus 15, etc. Click on the answer, and then we go back to the next question. And then let's say one of the students said, oh, can you go back? So I built this little button here that just takes us back to the previous example. Now, what you can see is this little arrow here. We can click on that, and now what you're seeing is the topic questions. Now, currently, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 28, 29, 30 different topics. And I've built this modular, so that basically means as I think of something and I've got the time to develop it, I can add to this. So this is a work in progress, really. And what you're seeing is basically, as a teacher, I thought, right, I want to teach fraction arithmetic, or I want to teach factorizing quadratics or trig or Pythagoras, etc. Okay. Now you can actually teach a lesson using this tool. I've done this many times. So let's say, for example, I want to teach fraction arithmetic. So I will, let's say I want to reveal this and cover up the first 4 questions. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to cover up everything and just say I'll click on this question here and I'll choose fraction arithmetic. Okay, so we've got 3, 6 plus 4, 11. Now, we can do the answer, and the answer is a smile and kiss method that I teach my students. Obviously, there's different ways to do it, but this is the method that I was teaching students at the time, and this is what we can see. And we can show them again, right? Let them see how to do it and check their answers. Now, let's say, okay, I'm teaching adding and subtracting. So what we can do is go to fractions. And where is it? Fractions, fraction arithmetic. Now you've got these levels. Now the levels are, sometimes they're levels of difficulty, sometimes they're just to get to a different part of the topic. So at the moment, all these questions in level 1 are adding. So if I want subtracting, I actually have to go to level 3. Level 2, as you can see, is for mixed numbers. So level 3 is for subtracting. So adding and subtracting is probably maybe a lesson in itself, or depending on how quick your students are, you might also be able to do dividing and subtracting, dividing and multiplying. So let's get this there. Right, so 5 and I think it's 7. Okay, so there you go. This fraction arithmetic. As a teacher, you know, this is going to be really handy for you because like this is really good for the skills. If you click this, you've got it set up. You can do this over and over again until you feel that your students have got it. If they needed to go back, as I said, we've got this back button that goes to the previous example. Now, if you want a complete lesson in fractions, this for me would be how I would do it. For example, especially if I've taught all the topics, in fractions. I've taught them how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and now I also want them to be able to do that with mixed numbers. So there you go. Once you've got that set up, you can just keep generating questions that will reveal how we get the answers. There you go. That's the lesson just in fractions. Now, if you want to do that in, let's say, what else have I got? Solving equations. Where's that? Solving equations. I'll just show you some solving equations. So it takes a moment to set it up. Oops, sorry. Okay, so we've got level 1 to go all the way up to 18. So let's just do the first 10 levels. Okay, so this is good because you can see, for example, well, let me change that. Okay, so you can see the progress of what I'm doing with these levels. So in order of difficulty for the very, very basic sort of beginning to solving equations, it might just be something as simple as this, where everything's positive. And on this one, we've got a negative constant now. On this one, we've made the coefficient of x negative. On this one, we've got both negative coefficient of x and negative constant. And this one, I've changed the place or position of the coefficient of x. Now, as a teacher, you'll understand that these little things throw students off. So you can just practice a few of them until they start to get it. And now I've started to bring in brackets. I've brought in, what's this one? What's the difference? Oh yeah, this one I've just again placed the coefficient of x on the other side, if you see, compared to that one. Now we've got expanding brackets and a constant there. Now we've got starting to bring in fractions with positive, fractions with negative. Now, if I was to sort of show you some more levels, you'll be able to see the progression where I was going as a teacher. You know, in my experience of teaching these types of things, it's this I found useful because I know what can throw students off, and so that's why I wanted to design it this way. So where we got now we've got a fraction and a constant, fraction and a constant that's negative. Finally, we've got unknowns on both sides, and again, the different levels are to do with where I've placed either the coefficient of x or whether something's negative or positive. Bring in brackets, and you can sort of see where this is going. All right, so that's solving equations. We do trig. Sorry, trig. I think there's quite a few levels. Let me cover up everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is all Socater right angled simple trig ratios. There I've placed the angle in a different position. We're just going through the different trig ratios here. And then finally, I think we're going to start going to about here. We're now calculating the angle. And again, we're placing the angle in different positions. And I think we're going to start seeing some, yeah, this is the sine rule. This is the cosine rule. Cosine rule with 3 sides and some 3D trig there. 3D trig. Is it all like that? Yeah. Okay. And then, okay, we've got area of a triangle using the sine rule, and then Pythagoras. We've got, let's see how it works, right? What else we got? Inequalities. Now, what you're going to notice on this one, for example, I built this module maybe towards the beginning of this journey when I designed this quiz. So you'll see that the one that I just showed you, Pythagoras, and let's say solving equations, and let's say trig, you can see they've got these levels that I've brought in. And some of the earlier ones don't have those, like algebra shapes, angle reasoning. I think the angle reasoning does, but some of them don't. Box plots, no, it was just what is the range, median, the IQR. It was just simple, just getting students to understand the basics of a box plot, for example. And also, you can see the space that I've got is quite limited here. But I've built something else as well that I'll link. If you visit my shop that I've got the link to, you'll see it's called Bingo, and I'm going to do a video about that as well. Okay, so what else we've got? Simultaneous equations. We've got 4 levels for those. So you'll understand with this one we can just add. This one we have to subtract. This one we have to change one of the coefficients, like times this one by 3, for example. And this one we have to change both the coefficients. What else? Volume of prisms. Okay, this doesn't have levels, but you get the idea. Right. Now let's reveal this. And again, like I say, it's just got 10 questions, or you can use it to teach a particular skill. Okay, that's me done. Oh, a word about the actual Flash itself. So Flash is obsolete, but you can get, I'll show you here. You can get a Flash player and a one for a Mac or for the PC, which I will include. And if I close this down, you'll see all I need to do is just once you've got this Flash player installed, you just double click on the tool, it comes up, and then you can do Control F or Command F on the Mac, and you get a full screen if you need to. Okay, that's it. Any questions? Just send me a message. Okay, thank you.